the biggest fucking puddle of dog drool.
Lol. Idiot. Oh my god.
It's
All right.
fucking good stuff.
Well, hello. Chat can hear us.
What?
Whoa.
Hi, chat.
Ole mole.
Okay, quit being a clingy, fucky bastard.
All right. Are we ready?
I'm always ready.
All right. So, last we left off, you all made your way into the Feywild with the goal of locating Fathom, Todd's old friend. And you did. You found him. He is currently working with the Wild Hunt, you discovered. However, you found someone else as well. Someone who you weren't expecting to find. You found Amaryllis, alive and well. Helibor's mother. Who, as far as any of you were aware, was dead. Ayla, you have the wrong reactive. You...
I'll change it when I get inside the house.
You spoke with her, and, she seemed happy to see Helibor again, claiming that the reason she had done what she had done was to help Helibor grow. Sorry, my sister and her friend are really loud for some reason. But after communing with Fathom a bit, Todd revealed who he truly is. He revealed that his real name is Mortem, son of Rulapai, god of death. And founder of the Crest Hunt. Fathom seemed pleased to learn that he was correct on the course of action that Voivode had expected of himself and Morlina. And Huntsmaster seemed intrigued. She then declared a hunt. She gave you a 12-hour head start and said that if you managed to survive, she would give back the thanks that you had given her. So, as you fled from her, taking to the skies atop Amaryllis as she took to the skies atop her wyvern Vina, you began to fly away from the wildlands, heading towards the summer court, trying to find the temple of Mortem that you had come through, and where we ended last session. A shadow-scaled crystal dragon had slammed into Amaryllis, taking her in her jaws and knocking Rain, Helibor, and Huntsmaster down as the three of you began to plummet, hurtling towards the river below. Todd, Fernek, what do you do?
Oh boy.
Die, I guess.
Yeah,
Uh,
honestly.
I don't like this situation. Can we get a different one?
Yeah, honestly, actually, I think that's a great idea.
Unfortunately, your last save was about 5 seconds before the dragon impacted.
Damn it!
Look,
I hate this
Doing
game's auto save
counter
feature.
it's kind of the worst sometimes.
Mm.
What happened to scum saving? Are we not doing that anymore?
You
I
mean
got
save
patched
scumming?
out. I got patched out a little while ago, unfortunately.
God damn it. I still. Mm. Alright.
I thought you decided at the end of last session that you were jumping.
I thought that too, but I'm trying to remember if I did decide that or not. I think I did, didn't I?
I think
pretty
you
sure
did.
you said you jumped.
I'm pretty sure you're like, fuck it, we ball.
Okay, I wasn't 100% sure if that was the conclusion you'd come to, because I know you kind of debated back and forth about it for a while.
Yeah, we debated about it, but I think eventually you were like, fuck it, we ball. And I was
Okay.
like, oh shit, here we go.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because I remember I was like, Fernick, the dragon's your whole thing. You deal with the dragon.
Alright,
Oh boy.
in that case, Fernet.
If I knew who the dragon was, I could deal with this more, but I don't, so.
Well, I made ask it.
In that case, Fernet, here. What do you
Hi.
do?
I don't fucking know. I mean, the only thing I could really like think of is what's her name? I don't want to fuck up pronouncing it. The person who
Amaryllis.
Amaryllis. The only thing I could think of would be to have the try and get try and yell at Amaryllis to try and swoop in before they hit the fucking water.
Amaryllis
Try to
was
catch
currently
him.
held in the jaws of this dragon.
I misunderstood the situation completely then. I thought it was we barely got out and then Huntsmaster got caught.
No, Huntsmaster, Hellebore, and Rain are falling.
Oh, I completely fucking misunderstood. Okay, good. That changes a lot then. Mm, Okay.
You know, seduce the dragon.
huh?
Become a bard,
Yeah.
seduce the dragon, win
No.
win.
I am at a loss. I haven't a fucking clue.
All that charisma, and he won't even seduce the dragon. What the fuck?
Yes, let me high stress situation real quick. Let me fuck this dragon mid-flight real fast.
Dragon, so it works, you know, it's not too
Let
bad.
me like pause time real quick, take this dragon out on a nice couple dates, get to know him, and then come back here and deal with this accordingly. My bad. I should have done this from the beginning. This was my mistake.
Yeah.
Should have taken a level in Bard just for this.
Fuck. God, Fernick as a bard would be funny. Bardic. I hate how funny that is. Fernick. Yeah, I don't know. I have
I feel like Fernick being paralyzed with what the fuck is going on is a very valid thing.
yeah, honestly.
Okay.
'Cause he
Fernet.
doesn't really have like anything he could do that could help in this situation.
Okay. We're gonna pan down to Rain and Hellebore. With Todd just behind them. Rain, Hellebore, you see the dragon, it impacts, and you begin to feel weightless for just a moment before you plummet, falling farther and farther, faster and faster, and you see Huntsmaster falling next to you.
Okay. DM.
Yes.
I know anime isn't a thing in this world, but can Rain attempt to apply anime tactics and grab a hold of the Huntsmaster? That way, if they fall and die, the Huntsmaster dies with them.
Oh my god!
You can attempt a grapple check, which is an athletics check
Oh no.
against the Huntsmaster's acrobatics.
You're good at that, right? The Huntsmaster's not exactly dexterous, right?
The Huntsmaster who wields a longbow is not exactly dexterous.
Yeah, exactly.
And Rain's, bodybuilder. He's good with this.
Huntsmaster's a strength build, right? That's why she fell off the dragon.
Rain's intention here is he wants to try to position the Huntsmaster, mind you, like underneath him in the fall.
Mm-hmm.
But unfortunately,
I'd like to re-specify, even if you did that, falling from this height onto water is like falling on solid concrete.
it works in his head.
It's not a good plan.
It's anime logic. Besides, it's mostly just,
That's not even anime logic.
not even anime logic. You just die here if you fuck this up. And there is like, I don't.
Well, I mean, no, anime logic would be the water is completely fine. As long as you land in the water, you're okay.
Anime logic is you actually tech on the surface of the water, you tech dodge, and then you continue the fight while running on the water.
Rain, what is that athletics check?
I call that wave dashing.
Alright.
No
So,
difference.
I want you to pick a
Let's
number,
get
and
the
it's probably
joke.
going to be below that number. I got a 7.
You got a 7. I need now for you to make an acrobatics check.
I got
Hold on, the fucking desk ate my dice.
I don't
Hate it when
think
that
it
happens.
matters, actually.
I got a 7!
7 wins.
You maneuver yourself quickly through the air as you're falling. Grab Huntsmaster and attempt to, position her below you. But she manages to flip the situation, wrangling you below her as she glares at you and says, "We are both going to die, and the first thing you can think of is try and kill me faster?"
Yes.
Okay, so this still works. Rain will shrug and just be like, hey, whatever works, and he's going to activate his crest.
Oh my god.
They're
Okay.
in physical contact with each other.
Roll an attack roll. Helibor, are you doing anything?
Yes, I
Um,
think
Actually, one thing real quick. Rain, what would you say your alignment is?
Chaotic neutral.
Chaotic neutral. Got it. Go on, Helibor.
the only thing Helibor can really do at the moment is to just turn into something and hope that she can tank the damage for everyone. She is going to turn into a giant constrictor snake, which is a huge creature. I imagine snakes in and of themselves, like the little small boys are really fucking long, longer than a person usually. So I imagine this is lengthy. This is fucking lengthy.
Mm-hmm.
She is definitely trying to position her body under them. She is essentially wanting them to get on top of her, and she's going to take the fall damage. And she is trying to get both of them.
Okay.
No. The differences between Helivore and fucking Rain right now.
Rain, what is that, attack roll?
1-3.
Ooh, okay, roll damage. And that's necrotic, right? Oh, shit.
Yes.
Okay.
And I hunt down the right dice.
And also, Rain, what would you say your current emotional state is?
He's definitely upset. Okay, that's a hard one. Hold on.
Let me get back to you on that one.
Okay.
I do want to point out it takes like 4 seconds to fall like 400 feet, so
That's why I'm effectively giving each of them an action.
yeah, I just want to throw that out there real
Mhm.
fast.
Do I not have any? I know I've got D10s. What the fuck?
It's only 3 of them.
I know. 15.
Okay.
Not great.
And Todd, as you are falling after them, what do? You see Huntsmaster and Rain beginning to kind of grapple each other. Hellebore transforms into a giant constrictor snake. What do you do?
Well, there's really only the one thing I can do that will not end in my death, and that is turn into a bat and fly before I hit the water.
Okay. As the 4 of you plummet, falling farther and faster, the river coming up to meet you. "300 feet that you fall. Hellebore, how many hit points does the giant constrictor snake form have?
60.
60. Okay. Here's what I'm going to have you do. I need you to roll me an intelligence check.
Okay. Just like flat out intelligence.
Yeah.
Alright, that's a 10.
Okay. You fall. You see the water coming up to meet you. You brace yourself for impact, attempting to position yourself directly below Rain and Huntsmaster, and your world goes dark. What are your maximum hit points, Hellebore?
52.
And what are yours, Rain?
31.
Todd, Fernick.
Yo.
As the 4 of them plummet, rapidly descending towards the water, they hit it with the sound of a massive impact, a kind of eruption of water splashing up out of the lake, and Todd, you have to adjust to avoid getting soaked in it. Fernick, where you are positioned right now, you are still clung to Emeralus, correct?
Yes.
Do you do anything in response to witnessing that?
I feel like he'd probably just kept frozen. Mainly because there's lack of anything he could do that would not just get himself killed.
Okay, and Emeralus can't speak while polymorphed, so...
I mean, like, the only other thing I think he could do was potentially cast command to try and, like, to try and get this dragon to release Amaryllis, but there's no way in hell that's working.
You can try.
Yeah, I guess we'll try.
What's your DC?
15.
Okay. That's actually not not the worst chance of success.
How old is this dragon?
It's an adult dragon. That is a 10 on the wisdom save. You say release, and the dragon's maw kind of unclamps from Amaryllis, and she immediately begins to dive down towards where everyone else is, with you clung to her still. You are extremely lucky, Fernek, because I had already rolled for the dragon's action before you said you were going to cast Command, and he would have reduced Amaryllis' hit points to 0, and she would have lost the polymorph. Which
we would have
put
died
her,
anyways.
then she would have ended up in its mouth and you would have fallen. Because if you would have had nothing to cling to.
Right.
But as the two of you plummet down towards the river, you hear a voice echo out from above where the dragon was. And stay gone!
I wish I knew this fucker's name so I could yell something back, but I don't. I have a whole witty thing prepared, but it wouldn't work.
You could say it without the dragon's name. Could you not?
It was gonna be something along the lines of "nice to finally meet you," but like.
Okay, I see.
It can't really do that if I don't know the name.
Doesn't work if you don't know the name, yeah.
Exactly.
As Amaryllis quickly descends down with Fernek on her back, she quickly locates Todd the Bat and flies next to him. What do the two of you do, Todd, Fernek? There is no sign of your companions as of right now. They hit the water and they have vanished since, as has Huntsmaster.
Well, I feel like the whole reason I did this, the only thing I could contribute by jumping off is knowing where they landed and, like, pointing that out to Amaryllis.
Okay.
And he can't swim. The only thing I can think of is to swim, which is really fucking funny because I gave Fernek a fear of swimming near water.
Oh my god!
When I made him, I gave him a fear of the ocean because I thought that'd be silly. And
Oh
it was
my
like,
god!
and my whole thing with that was like he was like a lord. He was like a lord of the land. That was his domain, and he was like, "Fuck whatever is happening in the ocean. I don't want to know. I don't want to find out. Fuck that shit."
So good! Oh my god!
And the
And I
creature...
did that way before that was when Miguel was gonna play. I was gonna be like, that'd be so fucking funny if like they had like a bonding thing over that, and then he never ended up playing. He was like, so I'm gonna give him this fear of the ocean because I think that's really fucking funny. That's why when we were that's why when we were on this ship to the fucking to wherever it was, my Fernek was so stressed because he was on the ocean.
And
Oh my god!
I don't want to be here. I don't like the water.
the creature
Amaryllis
Amaryllis
works.
the creature Amaryllis is transformed into doesn't have a swim speed, and that was her last 4th level spell slot, so she can't polymorph again.
Like again, I think this would get Fernek over not over his fear, but he'd be like, "Fuck it," and
I
he
have
would go.
something-
But like,
Okay. If Fernek does go, then never mind. But if
What
Fernek
do you-
doesn't go,
what-
I have something.
what are you thinking?
I cannot explain it if I do not commit to it.
I say commit. I say commit.
I mean, it would only work if Fernek doesn't jump. If Fernek jumps, I'm not gonna do it.
I love how I gave him a fear of the ocean. I love how it's coming up. That's so dumb.
In any case, I do land on Amaryllis.
Okay.
Fernek, do you want to roll something to see if you jump or not?
Yeah,
we'll do
roll.
like
I'd
a
say roll like wisdom
Yeah.
to like confront your fear.
That is a 1. He is fucking nope. He is.
Okay.
Oh god.
I'm gonna land on Amaryllis and turn back into Todd.
Mhm.
And like seeing how scared Fernic is, Todd sits down and I'm gonna perform a ritual.
Oh.
Talon, I'm gonna send you a message.
Okay.
God.
How long is this ritual?
You to decide.
If it's any longer than
Oh.
3 minutes, we lost him.
Okay, interesting. I am awaiting this message with bated breath now.
Well, you can only go like 3 minutes without oxygen, then your brain just
Yeah.
stops. So
Oh shit.
It's okay. Rain has gills.
Oh, hang on.
no, he doesn't.
You don't know that.
What do you mean? I don't want to live in a world where Rain has gills. That's fucking terrifying. That image is horrifying.
I need to double check something real quick, Todd. Feywild.
Rain just rain. Oh, that's why. That's why
okay.
he has the scarf.
Talon has actually DM'd a campaign where Rain had gills.
That's.
I have?
The very first one.
That is horrific.
Oh, wait, Magic and Maniacs?
No, maybe.
No?
Maybe.
That was
I'll
the
listen.
first one I ever DM'd with you.
Yes, then that was it. With Stina.
Yeah. Anyway. Oh god, okay.
I mean, you agree that's literally my only course of action, right?
Yeah. No, I do. The thing is, you are currently in the Feywild, which is directly opposite, to the Shadowfell, which is what you would need to connect to perform that ritual.
Can it be a roll?
Yeah, I say roll me, charisma with proficiency.
Charisma with proficiency. I will. I was gonna say I will use my prettiest dice, but no, I need to use my Todd dice.
I never thought ever in this campaign there would be a thing where Brennick's Fear of the Ocean actually comes up mechanically. This is so fucking funny.
I just
At least-
rolled that and then realized that's a D12. Let's try
Nice.
let's try doing the D20.
Yeah,
Yeah,
try
what
the...
was the D12 roll at least?
The D12 roll was a 1 for the record.
Okay, good. Yes, roll the d20, please.
All right, that is a 16 plus my charisma is 5 plus proficiency is what is it? A 13.
Paladin door?
3.
Any of those?
I don't think this is a saving throw.
No, it's not.
No,
it's
not.
a
that's
technically an
a total-
attack roll.
I
That's
mean,
a total
he's
of
using it
24.
to save the party.
24. Todd closes his eyes, kind of crosses his legs as Amaryllis circles the point where they vanished beneath the ocean. And Fernic, you see kind of wind seems to pick up around Todd. The light dims as though he is absorbing it himself, and something breaks. You feel the fabric between realms split momentarily. As Todd, you reach out with your mind, forcing your way across the material plane and into the Shadowfell, where this all started. Thousands of years ago, you had stood here in this plane and chose the tenets, chose the rules that you and all your subordinates would follow, and now you stand here as you stare before the physical embodiment of these rules within your mind in the Shadowfell. You reach out to one of them, and you tear the pact. Immediately, you are back in your own body. You complete the ritual within a matter of a minute and a half.
I immediately stand up and I look down at the water and there's just a moment of hesitation before Todd jumps.
As you jump into the water, Fernic, you feel your heart drop. You know he cannot enter running water without it burning him away, but he hits it and seems unfazed as he dives deeper down.
Oh boy.
Are fucking immortal vampires give up vampirism?
As Todd has torn away every vampire's restriction on running water.
Oh shit. That's not good.
That's no.
That's gonna
shit.
fuck up a lot.
That's gonna fuck us over in the end.
So I need to mark that restriction has been removed. But Todd, as you dive underwater, you don't need to breathe. Your only fear of water had always been because of the restrictions that you yourself set. And now, as you find yourself unharmed, unfazed beneath the water, you quickly scan. Roll either perception or investigation.
Okay. Okay, that is a oh god, that's an 8.
8. You search around. The water has been greatly disturbed from the heavy impact, and it is hard to see as the silt and other dirts and what else in this water has been stirred up as you begin to your search.
Can I cast Locate Object?
On.
Rain Scarf.
You cast Locate Object and immediately get a ping, and move towards it.
I assume Rain would never lose that again.
As you...
it is wrapped tightly around his neck like a noose.
As you move towards the scarf, eventually they come into view, 3 figures unconscious in the water, Huntsmaster, Hellebore, and Rain. And we're going to pan back over to their perspectives. Hellebore. Hellebore, you plummet. You transform, you hit the water, your vision goes black. Rain, you, with Huntsmaster on top of you, pushing you further down, impact the water, kind of meeting with Hellebore to soften the blow, and your vision goes black. And then you see yourself underwater. Well, you don't see yourself, but you find yourself underwater. Suspended in an endless expanse, you don't see the water that you landed in. You see nothing. But that's not true. You don't see nothing, you see one thing. A glow. A faint blue glow in the water. It begins to move towards you. You are able to see each other, but you are not able to see Huntsmaster. As the blue glow moves towards you, you see a figure. And you begin to see the source of the blue glow. It seems to be coming off of some sort of trident. Though the colors are distorted underwater, the figure that you see appears to be a female elf. Long, dark, navy blue hair, regal clothing that flows freely in the water but does not seem to be wet. As she grows closer, there's almost an ethereal feeling to her, as if she doesn't exist. As if she is some sort of ghost. She kind of tilts her head at you, glancing between the two of you as she says, "Huh. I see. You shan't die here, though it will come close. Or maybe you shall. But when you if you see him again, if you survive, tell him I live. You need not tell him my name. He will understand should you describe my appearance. But I am lost.
Did you say lost?
Lost, indeed. I have been for many, many years.
Okay, out of character, do you have I know you usually do like the whole this character profile thing in the NPCs afterwards. Do you have art for this character as
I do.
well? Okay, cool. Because I would
Okay.
definitely need that for the description. Definitely help. Oh, that's so pretty.
You will... My domain has not killed you. Not yet.
But it might if we stay here, I'm assuming.
Oh, no. No. Oh. When you see him, when he rescues you, smack him for me and tell him that he is an idiot. And as she finishes that, you... well, we're going to pan back over to Todd. As you approach the three unconscious figures, I assume you grab your companions?
I do. Huntsmaster still has my thanks, though. And I know she's important to Fathom, and I know Faye deal with favors. So I'm going to grab Hellebore and Raid and then basically bite Huntsmaster to drag her up too.
Okay. As you bite into her, I assume you're not, like, trying to bite too hard, but you probably, through the stress and anxiety, accidentally break skin, and she does not bleed.
That's
You knew this. You knew dryads don't bleed, but it still catches you off guard. You're used to the iron taste when you bite into a living creature. You drag the three to the surface, and Amaryllis quickly snatches you up with her claws and flies you to the nearby land. As you touch down at the base of the mountain cliffs, right on the border with the Summer Court, she drops the transformation, drops the polymorph, and a moment later, Rain, Hellebore, simultaneously kind of cough up water and awaken Huntsmaster, awakening a moment later.
Oh gosh. I'm assuming there's some type of check or something to make to like gain bearings and all that. Huntsmaster should not. Rain is kind of fight or flight still, wanting to take down Huntsmaster. Given situation.
Hellebore and Rain, you are both on 1 hit point.
Oh boy. We are fixing that immediately.
But you are conscious. Rain, you said you were doing something about Huntsmaster?
Yeah. How quickly can Rain, like, gather his bearings as to like what's going on, the situation. Huntsmaster's waking up as well. He wants to try to restrain Huntsmaster before Huntsmaster understands what's going on.
Roll investigation.
I would like to try and like as we're moving to land, Fernick would have laid on hands both of them.
Okay.
22.
You gather your bearings pretty quickly.
All right.
He would have done
Immediately.
like 10 on each, so.
Okay, so both of you are at 11 hit points.
Let me just mark that down real quick. Oh gosh, this is so
Maybe
much
give
fun
the
to do.
last one he has to himself, I guess.
Okay, fair enough.
Because he was at 21.
Rain is going to try to restrain Huntsmaster and gag them so they cannot
Does
use any form of
anyone
spell.
does
Yes.
anyone do anything about that? Like, does anyone
Yeah,
stop him?
Yes.
Okay. I would argue that Rain is far too weak to resist being stopped by, especially by Fernac. So
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna make this be a roll.
Fair enough. How does Rain get stopped though? Like how do you
I
know that?
imagine it's like Rain goes to sit up and then gets a hand on their shoulder, gently push down. You need to rest. Relax.
Hey, you're still after us. We need to stop them while they're down. Get them.
He's saved the 3 of you. Relax.
They are still hunting us.
We're just. If Todd saved her, I trust Todd.
God would
There
save
must be a
anyone.
reason.
She,
That's not true.
That is categorically false.
uh,
I know from experience that is not true.
she kind of sits up as she sputters to consciousness, glancing around, her eyes kind of landing on the conversation that was in the midst of happening. She seems to process what's being said before her eyes flit over to Todd as they kind of linger, and she says, "You saved me."
Todd is barely looking at her. Like he is still trying to make sure Hellebore and Rain are okay. But when she says that, he says, "Not for free."
Nothing is ever free in the Feywild. For starters, you may have your thanks back.
Thank you.
For seconds, I thank you. And for thirds, we'll come back to that. You deal with your companions.
Rain is actively like trying, like an aggressive dog trying to get over to the Huntsmaster.
I'd like to think Rain thinks that he's being aggressive when he's like barely swinging like one arm.
Accurate.
Alibor, of course, does not give a shit about herself and is like over there with Rain, like, are you okay?
I think Todd, by the way, through all that, he has the stance. You know where someone who is uncomfortable with water gets soaking wet, and like they have the stance where like they have their arms out, like they don't know what to do. Because Todd has not been this wet in a long, long time.
Chilled to the bone, if you will.
Mhm.
Todd is actively disgusted by the feeling of water. This shit is gross. This
Rain
shit is
having
meant for
to
drinking
call
and nothing else. How the fuck?
Upon the Huntsmaster giving Todd back their things, Rain will ask, "So does this mean you're calling off your hunt?"
It means my hunt is a failure. The hunt completed. And you survived.
The time is not up, though, is it?
There was no time limit. There never was. There never is. The hunt ends when one party is defeated. In this case, myself. Not only that, but it seems I now owe my life to the very quarry I had been hunting.
How sad.
That's not make things any worse, Rain. Manners.
I
Rain
wonder,
has. Oh. Go
I
ahead.
wonder though, what provoked Zielzrinth to attack?
Does that name ring any bells for me at all or not?
Roll history?
Oh boy.
I don't know, would Rain know that name or anything?
No.
Come on,
Fernek is old enough that maybe. Hellebore has been to the Feywild enough that maybe. Todd is old enough that maybe.
Rain was raised by a fucking harbor.
By a fucking harbor.
Fucking Harvard.
Oh, so what I'm
Nice.
hearing is I can also roll history.
If you want, you may. I would argue Todd has the least chance of succeeding.
Yeah, no, I completely agree, and the dice also agree that is a 4.
21.
I'll do it for the hell of it.
Okay, 21. I'll get back to you in a second. I just want to wait until Hellebore's gotten her
Sorry.
roll.
It's a 15.
I also come back to it. I just want to say it before I forget. I want to know what Amaryllis is doing during this.
I will. Yeah, I'll come back to that in a second. Hellebore.
Glitching out in the corner.
Hellebore.
Style.
Zielzrinth is known as the Wild Tyrant, and his lair is hidden somewhere in the Wildlands. He is the only person with more command over the Wildlands than the Wild Hunt themselves. He is the Dragon Lord that rules over the Wildlands. Fernek, with your 21, Zielzrinth, the name is familiar to you for an entirely different reason.
Oh boy.
It's your dad.
A crystal dragon.
I already know his dad.
A crystal dragon that was once known as a protector of the Northern Kingdom, and the only reason that the tyrant known as Zidorith wasn't able to expand that far north when they ruled over the Callous Kingdom was because of Zielzrinth within the mountain along the edge of the Richland Forest. However, shortly after the end of the reign of the draconic tyrant Zidorith, Zielzrinth vanished, having supposedly gone into the Feywild and never returned.
Okay. Bardic like snaps his fingers as he realizes like that's who that was. I thought I recognized him.
As for Amaryllis, she was kind of checking on Hellebore, making sure she was okay before Hellebore woke up. After Hellebore immediately went over to make sure Rain was okay, she kind of stepped back and was like, okay, no, she can handle this on her own, and just kind of is now standing back and just watching what's happening.
Okay. Well, then I'll go tell our daughter.
Yeah, I was gonna say the moment they're conscious and sitting up, Fernick hugs the both of them, but
Mhm.
and when Rain isn't actively flailing.
It was half-hearted fail. The fucking words.
Yeah, no, you got it right. It was a half-hearted fail.
Yeah, that's he does that for a bit and then sees Todd walking over and lets go.
Are you two okay?
Rain will let Hellebore go first. He will look at Hellebore, letting Hellebore take the lead here.
First, because it makes sense that she was doing this during this time, I'm gonna do a cure wounds on both of us.
Okay.
On first level. That is 12 healing for me. And then for Rain, you can add 7.
Your health is
Means-
proportional to your max health.
Rain is halfway healed, over halfway.
At least we don't have to waste too many resources on him.
Yeah.
I don't know. You have to sacrifice all your veggies for him.
What?
He's a vegetarian. He doesn't eat meat.
As you go to check up on Helibor, though, she's actively, maybe with like a little bit more, fervor to it. She's licking both herself and Rain, like obviously doing like the healing, but she's also flopping around like quite a bit. A dog when they're wet, like she has like, it's like pseudo zoomies somewhat, like with like how they roll around, but like she's also like trying to get the water off. It's a display. It's a display. But she immediately kind of like looks up and gives as confident of a thumbs up as she can. Yeah, I am like totally fine. What would even happen? Like,
For the record, Todd has no way to dry himself. He is still visibly soaked.
yeah, I feel like
I feel like it is quite easy to piece together what happened.
Yeah, don't worry. I'll get the fire going in a second here. Well, warm up.
With that said, Todd just says, "We can talk about that later."
Helibor's not talking about that later. She like blinks a few times and just realizes that he's soaking wet, and then like her mouth like drops open and she just like starts like pointing like she kind of like stumbles, chokes. There's probably like a little bit more like water that comes up as like she tries to like speak.
Incredible.
Ow! Ow! How? Oh my god, are you okay?
I said we will talk about this later, not in present company.
You're okay though, right?
I am okay.
Okay. Okay.
Helibor. Oh wow, I just realized Rain is going to speak up. Noticing that Todd is firm on not talking about it now in present company, Rain is going to approach Helibor and start drying off Helibor with prestidigitation.
Mm-hmm.
And Rain will say, Helibor, I didn't realize you were so soaked. Let's get you dry. Pointedly not looking at Todd.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like she just immediately like responds like with just like way more concern than like should be legally allowed. Rain, you're yeah, you should get dry. You don't want to get a cold. You could get a cold, but you shouldn't get a cold.
What is your passive perception?
Oh no.
Oh god.
I
Oh
believe yours
no.
is the highest in the party.
It's a Tory character, of course it is.
That's an 18.
You have just high enough of a passive perception to notice out of the corner of your eye while you're fussing over Rain, Amaryllis seems to be attempting to slip away.
Gross.
Oh no, you absolutely don't.
Helibor, sick the dads on her. Oh god. I have a comment to say later, but go on.
Oh my god. Okay, like she notices that, and like it can't occur to her that like she's actually trying to get away or something. Like something has to be wrong with her. Like she just like turns and like kind of like tilts her head. Oh, Mom, are you okay?
Hmm?
I forgot to even like ask if you were okay.
I'm just amazed by the bond you formed with your new friends.
Insight.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna do that too.
The most like sinister voice take going inside.
Insight.
That's gonna be a 15.
That's a 17 for me.
That was a 19.
Oh
fucking
man,
off today.
that's a natural 20, guys.
For a total of?
For a total of 25.
She said
Um,
she's amazed, and we're all like, "You haven't been here for long enough yet."
Okay.
Tisk.
So, Todd, Rain, Fernek, you guys all immediately register that that's clearly not what she was meaning to say. She, or not what she was meaning to say, but not what she was actually thinking. It's clear to you that she was lying, but it also seems to you like. She was kind of caught in the act of trying to slip away because she wants to just like let Hellebore be with her new friends and keep growing or whatever parenting bullshit.
Fernick's
And-
stat senses are kicking in.
And now she's like, well, I can't just tell her that. Hellebore, you, on the other hand, there's something off. It's obvious to you that she's lying. But it almost seems to you like she wants you to think that.
This is some master manipulator
Yeah.
bullshit over here.
I can hear- I
Both
can
me and
hear you
Hellebore are
talk.
like, what?
I can hear you talking in the other room, but could not hear you through the mic.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah.
What the fuck? I wasn't even like in a high tone. Okay. I was just saying like both me and Hellebore are like, what the fuck do we do with this? With the natural 20, is it like, does this seem at all like normal behavior for her? Is this ever something she does?
Your mother was always mysterious. The only thing that kind of doesn't seem like your mother is trying to slip away, but like you said, you didn't even process it as that, so I wouldn't say that any of this seems off.
Fuck. Hellebore's too trusting.
Maybe it might feel a bit weird that it seems like she wanted you to know that she was lying, but you've never really fully understood your mother, even in the 90 years that you did know her.
She just
Like
kind
her
of tilts. She just kind of tilts her head a little bit and narrows her eyes, but not like in an accusatory, like just like a confused. Does she look like visibly injured, Amaryllis?
No, she doesn't look too hurt. She was polymorphed or wild-shaped. You're pretty sure it's polymorphed, but throughout that entire encounter, so you would know that damage would not transfer over to her physical form, regardless of which of the two spells it is. Or which the two transformations it is.
Either way, Halbert just looks more concerned with anything. She just kind of like she approaches and just kind of like grabs her hand and gives it a comforting squeeze, smiling up.
Okay, well, like, we can totally talk later. There's so much I need to tell you, but like, you should like stick with me so you don't disappear again. Okay?
Alright. I suppose so.
Thus. My bullshit meter is going off the charts right now.
Yeah, same.
We can probably rest pretty soon after this, and we can talk, and like, you can take a nap. You love naps.
That I do. I had some business I needed to conclude here before heading back to the material. But I know a way home that is close to where I need to be, within the Spring Court. If you'd be willing to follow me like old times.
I mean, Hellebore doesn't see any issue with this. She just kind of like smiles and nods.
Well, of course. What business is it that you need to do? I don't think they'd care.
Or death.
I just need to meet with a few people. It's not anything of your concern.
Hellebore just kind of... She looks just kind of sad more than anything by the secrecy, but she doesn't push it. She just kind of gives a smile, like a sad smile, and nods.
Yeah, we can see if they would want to do that. Are you planning on leaving again after that?
She sighs. I don't suppose I have much of a choice but to stay, do I?
You kinda act like you don't want to, though.
I was hoping that you'd have more time to learn to be independent, but it seems fate has brought us together once more.
Hellebore cannot hide the hurt, man. Like, she's trying to stay strong, but like, there are a few like tears even as she's like smiling up at Amaryllis.
Oh, I'm sorry that we met again so soon. I'm sorry to do that to you. If you want to go, you can. I mean, I wouldn't stop you or anything because like you don't have to like, fake your death again or anything to like, get me to go away. Like if you just need me to like be away, I mean, I can do that. At least I know you're like alive now. That's the big thing. I don't want to like force you to be with me if you don't want me to be with you.
Helibor, I couldn't bear to hurt you like that again.
And can you tell me what happened, please?
So now
Like I know that you like, you know, secrets and stuff, and you know, like you have to be like cool and mysterious, but like genuinely, I was
It's
that
an
was the
archdruid
worst
secret.
thing ever.
I'll tell you one day, I promise. But you're not strong enough yet.
It's not like I'm interested in like, well, I mean, yeah, obviously like a not die thing is great, but like I don't even care about it from that. I just want to like know what you went through.
It
Like
wasn't
what?
it wasn't as bad as it looked.
It looked like really bad. Like I do you remember me holding you? I was trying to heal you, like all the things, you know, I've tried to heal and they're dead and it does nothing and that's like what it was doing. Like were you there like the entire time and you just saw that and like
Helibor, I'll explain when you're stronger, okay? There are things you need to understand that you don't understand yet.
and you can't explain it?
Not all in one go. It'll be part of your training, eventually.
Okay. Um I Where's the place that we need to go in the spring court? Then
Why don't we rest here for the night? We can head there first thing in the morning.
yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Give you time to say goodbye to your friends, right?
Goodbye. They're not coming with us?
I assumed not, no? Don't they have their own things to get back to?
The things we're doing involve the lot of us, so if Hellbor is going somewhere, we're following.
I think during this whole time, Todd has just been. I assume we could hear all that, yeah?
Mm.
Todd has just been staring very nearly glaring at Amaryllis, but remains silent.
Verdict has been doing the same, but not hiding it nearly as well. He's upset father noises.
Yeah. Rain is
He is not impressed by this parenting. He's like me. He's like, I would never. How dare you treat your child like this?
in a similar manner. Rain would be doing the same thing, but he has actively a hand on his dagger, like he's ready to. He is pissed. Does not like Amaryllis, and makes this very clear.
I see. I suppose I can make room for 3 more. Well, let's sleep, shall we?
Well, good thing Todd doesn't have to sleep, so he can keep an eye on everything. Oh, that reminds me. Rain would turn to Todd, and... Fuck, I need to roll something. Hold on.
Oh god, not another
Okay.
stupid check.
I've been making so many of these. Rain is going to give in and dry off Todd.
Okay.
It would probably take a couple, little bit though, of continuously casting spell. Make sure he's thoroughly dried out and warmed up.
Much
Does that feel better?
appreciated. It does, indeed.
Aw, I'm glad. Oh, that does remind me though. And Rain is going to slap Todd.
Let's go.
Like he's putting as much force into this as well. He's got his own issues with Todd.
Roll an unarmed strike. Unless, Todd, are you trying to avoid this?
No.
Okay. Rain, what is your unarmed strike damage?
I think that's like it's a 0.
With the added hold on. With the added spite that Rain has connected to this, can we say it crits?
I mean, 2 times 0 is 0.
Oh,
But
I
I will say, like, when Rain slaps, Todd, like, has some amount of pity and does, like, move his head as though it was forceful.
Okay, can I insight this? I want to see if this is real or not.
Sure.
Oh, that's a 16.
I guess performance.
Either that or deception, your choice.
You got this. You're a charismatic vampire.
I am a charismatic vampire. That is also a 16.
Oh fuck. DM? Reroll?
That goes to the runner, I would imagine.
I think Ty goes to Rain to the insight
That's
check.
fair. That's fair. It's whatever.
Okay,
I'm
okay.
pretty sure that's how that works.
And
I
so,
can never remember.
I do it though. Like I'm not talking like I go, oh god, what was that for? I mean literally like I turn my head because otherwise I don't think I would have needed to.
Mhm.
Okay. And I'm sure you know the slap's gotten the attention of everyone else probably. Rain's feeling a little feisty. He's gonna go for his dagger and hold it up threateningly.
Okay.
Helipor is screaming and running it.
For the record, Todd seems pretty unfazed by this and is just looking down at Rain. This was for which part exactly?
The slap was from a friend. Well, I don't actually know if they were the slap was not from me. That was just something I was told to do. And God, you need to work on your communication. Helipor running in. What is that like? Hold on, because that's gonna really affect the remorseful situation.
I feel like with the slap, like it was probably like the so dramatic like gasp, like hand over her mouth, like oh my god, and like with the dagger, like she's like mediation 101. She's a fucking teacher, like stepping in from like one of the fucking students. Like she like completely is like running, like stop.
Rain! What? Hey, we can talk about it. You don't need to be violent.
What if I want to be violent?
I'd like to imagine this whole time Fernic is like chuckling and then waving for Amaryllis to come back.
Everyone's is trying to sneak off again, and Fernic just reaches out and grabs her.
Takes a step back, grips shoulder. I love your parenting style.
Amaryllis kind of speaks up to Helibor and says, I mean, do you really want to travel with these violent and vain adventurers?
I haven't even started with you. Shut up.
I mean,
I wanted to put my hand on Helibor's shoulder to like try to ease her and move her backwards away from Rain,
Okay.
and just say, "No, Helibor, let him speak his mind."
Like, who is more upset competition? Helipor over here, like, genuinely she just looks like she just got so betrayed. Like, she's... Like, she was... You could tell, like, before already she had, like, the grand plans of, like, it's gonna be so great. Everyone I've ever loved in my life is together now, and we're gonna be happy, and we're gonna adventure. Like, no, like, literally, that conversation, you can just see mentally tore her apart. Seeing that, like, her mother not only doesn't really seem to want her back, but also doesn't care about the friends that she's so proud that she finally made. She's hurt bad. Like there is, as she's trying to like stop you, Rain, like there's like franticness, like there's like almost a pleading like to this.
You're embarrassing me in front of my mom.
Rain would probably start to settle down, feeling a little remorseful at the fact of what the situation and how it's affecting Hellamore. At Todd putting hand on Hellamore's shoulder and basically, trying to calm things down as well. That right there strains Rain, and he lowers the dagger. Not really as aggressive. You can definitely tell that he's still pissed off about something, but it's less aggression, and he's more almost as if it's not as fun anymore now that it's okay.
Okay, so
Now that you told me
since
to do it, I'm not gonna do it.
Exactly.
All right. So what does he say instead?
Actually, that's the thing. Rain knows stuff about Todd. He doesn't want to. Even though Rain was just told to, give up that information and everything, he's still. I'm sorry, Rain's gonna hold back the information a little bit, and he's not gonna tell Todd the important information he should definitely know.
Damn.
I'm sorry.
Okay. Then Todd will do his best to analyze that in Rain's face, and then just say, "We can speak later."
That would probably be wise. But what you did was incredibly stupid.
He tilts his head.
Rain will just shrug like he doesn't even know, like, what it was.
Someone else told me to tell you that. I don't know, man.
That's
Some
pretty
fucking
much how it
strange,
goes.
some random bitch in the water came up to me and was like, "Slap that motherfucker next time you see him," and I did. So
Some water nymph was like, "Man, tell that idiot he's an idiot and slap him across the face for me."
some water broad came up to me.
Rain is the type of friend who doesn't even need the money to slap their friends.
Just to confirm for like my own thing, like Helper wasn't there during that, right?
Helber was.
Yeah,
What?
you were
Yeah,
there. You saw Mara.
I very specifically said that that you were both there. You can both see each other, but you cannot see Huntsmaster. I said Hellebore and Rain.
Does that change how Helipor would react? Knowing that the slap wasn't exactly, Rain wanting to...
I mean, I don't think she's even thinking about that. She's like, "Oh, water person I met in dream. Mother that doesn't want me. I care about one more than the other." I genuinely, I don't think at the moment she's even thinking about that. Like she's probably just like, "Oh no, Rain's angry."
Oh no, Rain Anki, fix.
Aww.
Well, given that Todd has absolutely no information to go off of here, you'll just sigh and say, "I suppose we should prepare to rest." I look to Huntsmaster and say, "What will you do? Will you stay with us for the night?"
She glances at you and says, "Until I'm told how to repay the life debt I owe you, I have to follow you. But as soon as I am told how, I shall summon Vila and be out of your hair."
We just like don't tell her and just get her to do minor things every now and again.
Well, I
And
feel
say
like
it works up.
the very first thing I tell her to do, she will do and then leave. No matter how minor. I'm sure that is how this works.
Meaning we need to make sure we don't tell her to do anything, absolutely anything. That way,
we just keep her around for conversation every now and again.
we keep her around for the conversation and the aesthetic.
Yeah, I am hesitant to even ask her questions.
Just disregard her completely.
For the record, Talon, I am not keeping Huntsmaster. I just have a thing I need to say.
Yeah, no worries.
You have Huntsmaster, because Huntsmaster wouldn't necessarily help us until we asked her to do so. So we just have Huntsmaster to give commentary on everything we do.
Yeah.
We're in the middle of like a combat, and she's in like the corner with a mic, like, and here we go, round one.
All right. I guess we prepare a camp.
Yeah.
All right, what type of camp are we preparing?
A resting one. Smile.
Oh God, I have so many people I need to talk to during this rest. Oh no.
Well,
It's a good thing that you don't need to sleep.
yeah.
Yeah, but all of you do.
So you can just talk to each person.
Well,
on
we
their-
usually
on their
take
watch.
shifts anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, Amaryllis, wake up. It's time for your lecture.
Or like it's a
who-
silly little golden fire going.
Who is-
Give everyone warmth.
Who is first watch?
Wait, real quick, how many people do you have to speak to? Because usually watches are only 2 people.
Yeah. I need to talk to Hellebore, I need to talk to Rain, and I need to talk to Amaryllis, and I would like to talk to Huntsmaster and Fernick. I need to talk to each one of you individually.
Can you pairs?
Cool.
Or are they all
Do
private?
do it in like forms of importance.
Yeah, I'm trying to think which one is the least private meeting, so that we can just say I do that while we're preparing for camp. Preparing camp. I think that's Hellebore. Hellebore both take Hellebore's. I don't think Todd thinks this is a conversation that's gonna reveal anything he's not willing to reveal, and Hellebore is clearly very upset and he wants to deal with that as soon as possible. So he will approach the cat.
Which one? There are 2.
Oh shit!
Oh no.
The lower percentage cat.
Lower percentage cat. The fuck does that mean?
Hellebore's half tabaxi. While Amaryllis is full tabaxi.
You're right.
I'll approach Hellebore and say, Hellebore, it has been a very eventful day for you. How are you dealing with it?
Alright, what type of terrain are we on right now? What are we on a beach?
Yeah, you guys are kind of on a rocky beach, at the edge of a mountain range.
Alright. Is there enough sand here for her to be making a sad sand castle by herself in the corner as he approaches?
Sure.
Okay. Hellebore is quite obviously very upset, which in and of itself is probably heart-wrenching, considering that she should probably be so happy that her mother's back and she's over here crying. But Yippee, she kind of perks up slightly whenever Todd approaches, though, and kind of motions for him to like sit down next to her.
He will do so. Clearly not helping with the camp preparations.
I was about to say, like, this wasn't even, like, you were like, oh, this doesn't have to be private, and I literally set this up and she's all by herself.
Yeah.
I was already imagining she's kind of off moping in a corner, so, she kind of, just plays with his hand for a moment, like, just like kind of like digging her claws in, making like odd shapes, and thinks on that for a moment. It's just a lot, you know?
Indeed.
She like lifts her hands up and like kind of like smacks herself on the side of the head a little bit, like a like snap out of it thing. Kind of shakes herself like a little bit and makes herself smile up at Todd.
We have a lot to talk about, though. I should do that. So, well,
Caliber's rocking back and forth at this point. You know her well enough by this point that, like, she is the type that, like, plans things out. Like, she probably has, like, an entire rant that she's been, like, just, like, practicing in her head, like, this entire time. And she seems to be, like, hyping herself up for it a little bit. As you look at her, it's like there's a fucking war going on. Like, part of her is sad, guilty, embarrassed, and then the other side is genuinely, like, so curiosity, happiness, and joy, just like brimming like a fucking, it's like you just poured bath salts and water, like fizzing up. The rocking kind of intensifies a little bit as she starts.
So, first of all, I just wanted to say that I'm extremely sorry that you have the worst life out of anyone ever. I like am really sorry because you don't deserve that, and you're like an amazing person, and it just genuinely makes me want to like cry just thinking about it, and it's awful, and like I'm sorry, and you know, like I wanted your weapon, and like, you know, that makes it even worse that it was yours. So I'm like very, very sorry about that, and you know, it's sad, but I mean, it's also just like it's about this point there's a victor in the war, as you see the excitement just brims over the fucking top, and she just erupts. Like, she jolts forward, like turns around, faces Todd, lurches forward like a few inches from his face, and just absolutely explodes. It's so cool. 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 I can't believe this. I can't believe this.
who has temples to them? No one has temples to them. Well, some people, but like, you have your own temple, and like, oh my freaking goodness, I feel so stupid. Like, I literally had the dream, and like, well, okay, first of all, I've already like written notes about it, and like, I decided that there's nothing that you can do to make yourself cooler because you're already the coolest person that has ever existed, will ever exist, or has ever existed, and yeah, so I was like, there's nothing you can do to be cooler. But then you went and like did the thing that would make you cooler, which is being Mortem, like the Mortem. And then like I was like, oh my gosh, what do I do with this information? Like, this person can't get any cooler, but they went and they were like, are cooler. And then like I had the dream about you, but I didn't even realize that was you. And I like feel really, really stupid because I was like thinking about it, and I was like, yeah, like this person like totally looks like them, but like I didn't actually like know that was you because like you're usually not that angry and edgy. And then yeah, so I felt like bad about that. But then I was like happy because it's like, oh my freaking goodness, like this is so cool. And then you're like the pictures, you're like relatable, like, oh my goodness. And then it's so cool. And I just realized that like I'm the like luckiest person in the world because like you're my dad. That's amazing. I'm like the actual luckiest person that has ever existed, will ever exist, and out of like anyone that has ever been or thought about being, even the people that have thought about existing but they haven't existed, I'm still the luckiest one. And like, I just thank you for existing. I'm glad you're my dad. I love you.
Okay. Todd patiently waits as she collects herself, and then patiently listens to the rant. And then at the end of it, he'll reach out and give her a side hug and say, I am glad you are my daughter as well, Helibor. You are my pride and joy. Allow me a moment to process your words.
You process the words with the sound of a like, I feel like the purrs can be heard from across the fucking camp. Like, you just see a worm over here, like the happiest sounds of like, you know, like, she returns the hug and gusto. She's like still trying to speak, but it's just complete like gibberish. she'll wait for you.
I do not consider myself to have the best life possible. Far from it. I have enjoyed my life as much as I can. I believe that is all anyone can do.
Thank you. I worship Helibur, she's my religion. Speaking of religions, she looks back up at her god at this point.
God.
I'm not wrong.
Helibor about to become a fucking cleric.
Wow, just another thing Todd and Helibor have in common is that their dad is their god.
Oh my god. Oh. It still takes her like a minute. I hope Amaryllis is watching across the fucking camp as
She
like
is, yeah.
she fucking left so sad, and like, look at how happy she is with her good parent.
Damn.
She finally the babbling kind of quiets down. She's not even broken out of the hug. She like wriggles herself up and like looks up at this point.
Well, it's the saddest thing I've ever saw, so it's the saddest life I think that there's ever been. But, you know, yeah, it maybe could be worse. Maybe. So like,
you just have this cat like looking up at you. And like a few moments pass by of just like her just staring and you don't hear anything. And then she speaks up. Did you hear that?
Hmm? I look around and say, I heard nothing.
Oh. Dang it, I thought that'd be really cool if that worked. I tried praying to you.
I am afraid I do not receive prayers. You
Dang
need
it.
not pray to me, Hellebore.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it'd be like really, really like useful from like, you know, long distances. Like that'd be like a really like cool way of doing it. Oh my goodness,
She has another wriggle attack for a moment. Catches her breath and looks back up again.
You're like literally a demigod. How does that work? How does that exist? How can you be so cool without exploding?
I like to think Todd's just like an active walking pipe bomb. At any moment, he could just go off.
That's what Hellebore thinks.
Mhm.
Like Todd lights a cigarette and gets one more cool point and explodes. Todd, like, thanks for this. I suppose similar to anyone else. My father, Relapai, is much like I am to you. The major difference is that he will also glare towards Amaryllis and say, I have no other parent in my life.
Oh. Oh my goodness. I guess I didn't even like think about that. You Aww.
Did you hatch from an egg?
No.
A seed?
I didn't hatch from an egg, did I?
Not as far as you're aware.
As far as I'm aware, I just kind of started existing at one point, right?
As far as you're aware, you were basically sculpted by your father.
All I can imagine is just little mortal hatching from an egg. No. I desperately want that to be canon. I think that'd be so fucking funny.
We could make so many jokes if that was canon.
Yeah. But Todd will shake his head and say, I suppose it is different. My father sculpted me. I am created with his intention.
Be the coolest person ever?
I believed so.
Oh my goodness, he knocked it out of the park!
Oh wait, I might have misheard your question. What'd you say?
To be the coolest person ever.
Oh, I thought you said, was he the coolest person ever?
No.
Todd chuckles and shakes his head and says, no, I was to carry on his legacy, which I have attempted to do my whole life.
Legacy of being cool?
Yo. Sure. Yes.
The intended answer was probably to be deathy, right?
Indeed.
I think you're doing a very good job at it.
It is a trait that took me some time to come to terms with, and a trait I am forever remorseful of what's past to you.
She kind of frowns at this and like immediately shakes her head.
No, 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 no. Like, I mean,
she just kind of looks around, like searching for words, and just kind of like points around her, like at everything.
it's vital for everything. I don't see any issue with it. I mean, it's like, it's just a thing, you know? I came to terms with that like a super long time ago. I mean, like around the time I stopped, unintentionally killing things, it's not that bad at all. I'm quite thankful for it.
I am glad you can see my father's gift.
You see a dot connect, like another red string on the board, as she like pauses a few seconds. And then she has another wriggle attack. And then she looks back up again.
Does this mean I'm part god?
Yes, I suppose it does. You are a quarter, at least. Hmm.
She immediately like flops around, like takes her hand and makes like a circle in the sand, and then like makes like a little pie chart with like a quarter, and like points at it like desperately, like like turns and looks inside. Really? A quarter?
At least, yes.
At least. Wait, you're saying she
said-
she puts a tiny chunk more?
The mathematics of it would be complicated to describe. I had no other parent other than my father. By many accounts, if we are going by percentage, I am not half of anything but God. I was simply created to be mortal. Well, more mortal than he was.
Oliver looks down. It takes a deep breath, and she like exits out the existing circle, draws another one, and with like she is writing the fucking holy Bible. Like this is putting it on paper. Like she's performing a fucking ritual. She just draws like a straight line through the circle. And then like looks over. This is the happiest person you've ever seen. Like this is the happiest fucking person you've ever seen. That is so cool.
Oh my goodness, is this why? I thought it was just because I was weird.
By what?
Like it's the sneakiest look ever. Like, how in the world could you not know what she was talking about with this obscure word choice? She just like smiles and very excitedly she's going to produce flame in her hand. As I mean, you've seen her probably do this a few times before. I don't know if I've described it. It's a black flame. It is like all of her magic. an odd parallel of something that doesn't seem like it should be. It's like simultaneously like sucking the light away as it's giving it, providing warmth at the same time as it's like a chill. It is like a black hole that's like providing energy. Just a thing that shouldn't, like, a contradiction. But she'll kind of like put it up, like right in front of Todd's face. And then like almost like she's about to like perform like a magic trick, like very with emotion, like puts her hand up beside it.
Okay. Gosh, I'm really nervous. I hope it does it this time. It probably will. It probably will. It's like hard to see without a light, so like, you know, that's why I'm doing this. Okay, here we go. Please don't make me embarrassed, and please do it, please.
And she's going to she just reaches over and just touches one of her teeth. That's enough to draw blood. And then holds it up next to the flame, and it does absolutely nothing for about 5 seconds, except slowly bleed. And then you see all of a sudden it turns gold. Almost exactly like her eyes, how they change color at random. And she like screams, pointing with like all of her other 3 hands at it, like to make sure that Todd sees it.
I do suppose that would be your heritage at work, yes?
You see like a few more times, like as it's there, it goes back to red again, and then same thing, like few seconds later, turns, stays that way, a few seconds later, goes back. She kind of like motions.
So yours is like that too, right?
Not quite. Mine, it used to be golden when I was alive, but the gift my father granted me has altered it. It is different, but for the most part, not noticeable, except under observation, direct observation. Then he'll reach his arm up and lightly bite his like wrist and show her the blood, which when you look very closely, it does seem a little bit more of a brighter red than you're used to blood looking, and it does have like golden flakes. Very small golden flakes.
Helibor looks like she has the worst case of fucking nearsightedness. Like she literally puts her eyes like an inch away from it, like doing like the most scientific of observations. You see her very quickly reach into like notes, and like she writes a few sentences trying to literally, like, you see percentage signs. It seems like she's trying to like calculate the amount of like gold fleck to red ratio. But she'll eventually like give like a little bit of a thumbs up.
Okay, awesome. Wow. So what actually happened?
What do you mean?
Like, what made you decide to stop?
The crest hunt?
Mm-hmm.
I do not suppose there is any more need for secrets. However, Helibor, I do hope you understand. This is my identity is not to be something to be spoken of publicly.
Her face grows dead serious, and she nods.
Of course, I would literally never, ever, 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 ever willingly, unless it was magic. But, you know, that wouldn't ever be willingly. I would never willingly.
It was the possibility that it would unwillingly get out that I kept it hidden from you for so long. I never doubted. I never thought you would sell me out, as it were. I entered Nive's castle with intent to kill her. But I had questions before. And through our conversation, I found myself more lost in my purpose than I had been. And I needed to leave. I needed time to think. I left her there, because that was the last I ever saw of her.
Hmm.
Oliver considers this for a good long while. You can see she is fighting for the amount of questions that she kind of has like in queue. It's just like a muddled mess of like anything and everything that she wants to ask, and then she just kind of like blinks and like snaps her head over.
Wait, oh my goodness, I just had the thought. Do you think that I could meet your dad? I've always wanted to meet a god. That would be so cool. Do you think you would care? Do we have to do an appointment? I can do an appointment. I can do an appointment if that's okay. I would love to meet him.
Looks very saddened by this, and he shakes his head and says, I don't believe this is a conversation we should have at the moment.
Oh.
Later, when things are calmer, I will give a more full explanation to all of you. For now, I think it is best that you head to bed. It has been a long day, and it could be a longer day still tomorrow.
Yeah, you're totally right. I'm like literally so tired it hurts. Yeah, I should probably sleep. That would be a good idea. I did have one more thing though that I've been meaning to ask.
Hmm?
She immediately begins twiddling with her tentacles a bit. She's blushing. She's thinking of the words.
So I was thinking about it, and it seems really, like, unfair, because, like, you know, like, obviously, my name's Helibor, but, like, you didn't get to have a part in that, so, like, I was thinking about it, and, like, you know how some people have middle names? You could give me a name, and I could have, like, 2 of them. Like, one that Mother gave me, and then I could have one that you gave me. If you wanted to, obviously you don't have to, but, you know, if you wanted to, I'd be the happiest person ever. I'm already the happiest person ever, but I'd be even more happy.
You want me to give you a name?
Yeah.
He thinks about this. It's probably a good couple of minutes before he speaks again. This is... Fayetteville? I happen to have one I am no longer in use of, and have not been for a long time. How do you feel about Mila?
She has not gotten the connotation that this was so she just like I imagine like during this like few minutes like she was just like humming to herself, like she looks like she's about to like literally explode. Like I feel like it's almost like Jeopardy theme music, like impatience where she's trying to seem patient. But she kind of like jolts up.
Oh! Of course you would just have names lying around. Oh my god, yeah! That's a beautiful name. I love it. I'll totally take it.
Yeah. Treat it better than I did.
I will treasure it. I like if I could gift wrap it, I would do that. Can I have your last name?
Devlin?
I suppose. Is that your real one?
My real one would be problematic for you to take. It is well known. Real one.
Well, I wasn't planning on really using any of this. It was more just like for me, so I could like think about it all the time and be happy about it.
Amaryllis kind of interjects at this point and says, "You mean von Zarovich? The noble family?"
Yes. I do.
I can see why that would cause problems for our little girl there.
But Devlin is a name that I am quite proud of, and I would be prouder still to share with you.
Halberd is another wiggle worm. She is beyond ecstatic. You literally can see her start to go through, like she rips open her book and starts adding every single place where she has her name. She's just writing the full name now. But yes, she will be tucked in and she will go to sleep.
Okay. Oh god, that leaves us an hour left before I need to go, and still 4 more conversations to do.
You got this.
I don't think the others will take as long.
I'm sorry. Hello, has a fucking lot to say.
Alright, so who's first watch?
Rain would bring up the fact that you guys have enough people. He doesn't need to take a watch, and he wouldn't take a watch. I do understand that this does mean he will probably get, last conversation or closer to last. That is fine. I understand if we don't do it this session as well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, we're
It's just-
actively trying to fit, actively self-sacrificing to try and get everyone in. I see you. Don't think you can hide.
Fernick was the other one that I didn't think was going to be that private, so I was going to talk to Fernick in the morning if he didn't take a watch.
I imagine he probably would, mainly because he does not trust Amaryllis, even a little bit.
That's fair.
Amaryllis watch and then Dad watch, maybe?
Sure.
Sure, that works.
Todd will have Fernick on standby if Amaryllis does anything shady.
Sitting next to him, like ready to
Yeah.
punch him in the head if she gets up.
I'm
She does anything.
I'm sitting at the end of Fernick with his tail in my lap, ready to pull it and wake him up if she does anything.
I love the mechanic for that, but that idea is also just so fucking cute in my head. Oh my god.
Mhm.
That's so adorable.
Amaryllis, as the watch comes, Amaryllis kind of notices the suspicious attention that Todd is giving her, and she just says, "I'm not going to run off, not tonight."
I have words for you, and not many of them are nice.
I should assume so. I never realized you'd get to meet her, let alone know who she was.
I can see this, and you had no idea of knowing how long I would live, nor I you. I do not hold that against you in any way. Perish the thought. However, how you have just treated our daughter is not acceptable. I understand the needs for secrecy. The gods know I do. And that is clear. And I understand you're a powerful figure who deals with things that Helibor may not understand. But do not ever make my daughter feel like a burden. She is a blessing, and every moment spent with her is to be cherished.
She is quiet, seemingly considering her response before she says, She... Our daughter has much she needs to learn. Much that I can't teach her, but the wild can. It has never been my intention to make her feel like a burden. If she feels that way, then she is understanding the situation wrong. She has potential that I can't guide. She needs to learn the way I learned. She needs the land to teach her who she is. And if she continues to cling to me, she cannot learn that.
Lessons can be taught in a far less cruel manner. The wilds take care of its young, otherwise there would be no animals. Do you believe the mother bear leaves her cub to defend herself?
Do you believe the mother bird cherishes their chick long past the day they were supposed to leave the nest, the day that they were supposed to fly for the first time and never come back?
Do you think yourself a bird?
I think it is a more apt description than a bear.
Well, I think myself a man, and I will care for my daughter for as long as she or I live.
But at least with you, she still can only learn the ways that she is meant to learn from the wild around her. If I am with her, she will expect me to teach her everything, and I cannot teach her everything.
Clearly, there are lessons she cannot learn from either of us, that she must learn on her own. I don't think my presence denies her those lessons, nor yours. However, if you feel as though you are not up to the task, then I would not stop you from leaving. But she deserves an explanation and a goodbye.
I will stay with you for some time. With her for some time. Enough to gauge where she is. Perhaps she's developed faster than I expected.
You have business in the Supreme Court.
I do.
I'm afraid we do not have the luxury of being in the Feywild for too long. It is quite possible we have already overshot our deadline.
Why not?
We have obligations to fulfill on the material. And the mystery of exactly how long we have been gone could prove greatly detrimental.
It is entirely possible you've already been gone for a year or more.
So because it could be reversed, we should just let it get worse and worse than it is.
One day in the Feywild, that's all it will take for my obligations to be complete. And besides, like I already said to her, she can say her goodbyes, you can leave. You don't
No.
have to come with us.
My obligations lie with Helivore. And he'll look over to where she's sleeping and just say, I have doomed countless to violent deaths for her already. And I mourn that loss, but I do not regret my decision. She is important. She must stay alive.
I agree that she must stay alive, but what makes you think... You speak as though fate itself needs her alive. Why?
She, I believe, is part of a prophecy. One given by Dele. They both are.
Prophecies can change.
Not Dele's.
And I suppose you would know that, wouldn't you, Martin?
More than most.
I hope you understand that I am wary about my daughter being raised by a heretic king. More specifically, the son of the god of death who killed Scriptor.
He chuckles and shakes his head and says, I find it quite silly how little you know and how much you think you do.
As little as I trust you in raising her, ultimately she needs to learn the lesson of not trusting people herself. So, when you...
I believe you have tried to provide that lesson quite admirably.
And yet, it seems that she has not learned.
Have you thought your lesson might be wrong? I have lived far longer than you, and I believe that is a circumstance you did not expect the night we stayed together. And I have learned that you cannot live in this world on your own. Everything is part of the community. Trust is necessary.
I have lived centuries on my own.
As have I. And look where that got us. Here, together. It appears alone did not last forever, did it?
No, I suppose it didn't. Morton. Voivode, Todd, whatever name you're using, Angel. I don't trust you. No one should. She seems to think that you're cool, that you're to be revered, looked up to. Clearly, I didn't teach her well enough. The stories of old.
I thought higher of you, Amaryllis. I believed anyone as connected to nature would understand the importance of death. But for you to sit here and disrespect its domain wholesale is...
It is not the domain of death itself that I am disrespecting, it is what you have done. The lives you have taken. Millions slaughtered. And for what? Because your daddy asked you to?
And the millions you have slaughtered to survive the centuries you have. Who asked you to take those? Death is part of the nature you so love, Amaryllis. It is necessary. If you are to survive, others must die.
Life is sacred. All
I
life
agree.
is sacred. That is the first thing a druid will ever learn.
Funny that you had to learn that. I was born with that information. You don't know anything about me, Amaryllis. You may think you do, but you don't. I don't care if you trust me or not. Halibor does. And I would never betray her trust.
Is that what you told Scriptor? Before you killed him?
You believe I killed Scriptor?
It is fact that Mortem, wielding a cursed relic gifted to him by his father, under orders from said father, killed Scriptor in the council chambers and sparked the War of Heroes.
Ah. Do. Please, go on, Amaryllis. I am clearly ignorant on history of the Council of Heroes. That you are such a scholar in to declare something as fact. What happened next?
After that, he and Nola, together, raised devastation upon the land. And then Prado, betrayed the council like the liar, deceiver, and daughter of betrayal that she is. Until eventually, the heretic forces had gathered towards the center of the world and soul slaughtered them all. And yet you stand.
Huh. So, you are very confident in all this information? Yet it ends in my death, and here I am. Clearly something in your story is wrong, no?
Is it? Helibor saw me die, didn't she? She held me in her arms. And yet here I am.
I'm quite curious about this as well. I have seen many escape death. It was my duty at one point in time to correct such mistakes.
Then kill me.
At one time. I no longer have this duty. I no longer believe there are mistakes. If you are alive, it is because you are alive, and I have no place to say otherwise.
I think we're done here. In the morning, I'm going to the Spring Court. I guarantee you Helibor is following me. The rest of you can make a choice.
Lovely. Have a good rest, Amaryllis. And
I
go-
hope your nights are plagued by those you slaughtered, Mortem.
They are fine.
As she finds rest, eventually falling asleep. Fernex watch comes.
You a bitch, all I'm saying. She absolutely a bitch.
As far as she's aware, the most evil man in history is currently standing before her.
I'm not like disregarding
you,
her
I am-
feelings.
I am
I'm just saying.
sitting. Excuse
She
you, I am
bitch.
sitting before her with my boyfriend's tail in my lap.
Okay? While keeping a close eye on his daughter that he loves dearly.
Mhm.
That I mean, literally, when we were working on Mortem on Todd, I think Tabby described it as Vampire Hitler, who was actually a good guy.
That's really funny.
Abby.
So like, yeah, she's basically talking to Hitler right now in her eyes.
Yeah.
Okay.
What does that make Frennick then?
Am-
I have a joke there, and I'm gonna keep it to myself because we're streaming. But
Suddenly, the wants to abandon Helibor makes much more
Look.
sense.
oh boy. I'm just
Go on,
saying.
Layla.
I understand. I don't agree with it, but I understand Amaryllis's points. And, I don't hate Amaryllis out of character. I have a distaste for Amaryllis. In character, Rain doesn't like her whatsoever. Rain also kind of just like Todd right
No,
now.
I can respect Amaryllis as a person and as a character. I
Mhm.
think she is very realistic. I think you are doing a good job
Thank you.
at Talon. But
you a bitch.
yeah,
I
the
mean-
only reason Todd at the moment does not regret that night is Helibor.
Fair enough.
Aww. Helibor's worth it. Now, I will say, I still don't believe that night actually ever happened. I think it's all,
Damn.
Look at Todd. I mean, look at him.
That's wild.
He didn't have the disguise at the time, so he was in full vampire mode.
I'm not sure if that's worse or better.
Yeah, well,
That's
it depends on whether you think vampires are sexy or
wild to
not.
say.
Okay. I can't go with the looks because I won't lie. Todd is very pretty. Anyway.
Damn.
Anyway, Fernek wakes up for his watch.
Yippee!
Fernick, my friend.
Yeah, sweetheart. I'm kidding. No, you just called him you just called him your boyfriend. I had to at least once.
Yep.
I was legally obligated. Good morning, Todd. Still finding it hard to believe of who he is, but we'll get there.
I thought that you might have questions.
Not really at the moment, as I'm still processing the entirety of that, but I don't know if I should be worried or if I should be impressed upon myself that I managed as well as I did.
You were quite powerful, I should say. I mean, of course, I took you on alone, but I believe we both found honor in that battle.
Of course.
I don't know what you must think of me. Clearly some looks to Amaryllis as do believe what they have been told, but I wish I could give a better explanation to you.
I mean, out of everyone here, you are sitting across from the one who believes a person can change the most. So.
That is quite true. I'm not sure if I was ever buried. How about that, though? And he'll gesture towards Amaryllis. What do you think of her?
Her parenting skills could definitely use a tweak. Just because, like, a bit of a glare.
Some just was not meant for it.
Clearly.
But
And that's a lot coming from me, I feel.
what I worry about is how she will react. Amaryllis, whether Hellebore stays with us or not, I believe Amaryllis does plan to leave her again.
That part wasn't obvious.
Mm-hmm. It strikes me as odd to hear Hellebore tell that Amaryllis was nothing but loving for the 90 years they were together. Why resort to such a thing as faking one's death?
This is quite odd indeed.
I also believe we should keep in mind where we are and the trickery that could be afoot. This might not be Amaryllis.
I was to say, I'd cast Detect Magic, but I don't have any First Level spell slots right now.
I mean, you can cast it with a higher level spell slot.
No, I don't. It's
can.
not.
It doesn't have any upcast effects, but you can still you can still upcast spells that don't have upcast effects.
Okay, I'll do that then.
Wait,
I
you're not
don't
a
have-
wizard?
Amaryllis's staff pings as magical, but she herself does not.
What kind of magic?
The staff is enchanted with conjuration magic.
Not illusion.
Not illusion.
No, not illusion.
Okay. Fernick not being a wizard, but still being a better wizard than a wizard.
Does Fernick talk about that?
Yeah, he'll throw it up and then kind of just stare for a bit. And well, if she is using some form of illusion and that isn't Emera, she's escaping my magics. So
There are ways to get around detection.
Mhm, mhm.
I would force her to tell us the truth, as I did with our friend before, but I fear I have no way to ensure that magic holds, or to keep her trust what little of it there is afterwards.
I don't believe we really have it to begin with, so we'll just
Alright.
make sure to keep an eye on things, I suppose.
Indeed, as we always do.
Mhm. Gotta
Okay.
keep the youngins in check. You especially, old man.
So,
I will never stop making that joke.
yeah, the ocean.
Ah, so you notice. I thought I played that
Alright.
off quite well.
I struggle to find the words to say this without being accusatory.
Oh boy. Hit me.
I do not blame you. We all have our fears. And it is a strange ocean in a stranger plane where anything could have happened. So, then I explain what I had to do. I hope you understand since the blame is entirely on me, not on you.
Got it. Go on.
Now, you know my identity now.
I do.
Do you know much about vampires?
How much would he, considering everything? Probably not much more than a normal person.
Yeah, I don't think he'd know more than just like the myths and legends that people understand vaguely. Like, there were rumors around the time that you encountered him that the moniker he was going under had was a vampire. And that's probably the most you know regarding specific vampires in question, besides what you've learned since joining the party.
I was busy locked underground for too long to do any research, unfortunately, so not much more than what is said in myths and legends.
I imagine it would come as no surprise to you, but I know quite a lot about
You-
vampires.
You don't say.
In fact, I believe it is not unreasonable to say I know the most about vampires.
Get out of town. You're not lying to me now, are you?
Fernick, what I am trying to tell you is I am the original.
Ah. That makes sense.
And then I woke up. Vampires have many limitations, many faults in their armor, so you may say.
Mhm.
To put it in a way you would resonate with.
I see the pun here now. Very clever.
When I woke up with these teeth and this hunger, I had no such limitations. I could go where I please, talk where I please, eat what I please. And so as I turned, also lacked these limitations. I was angry when I woke up. I wanted an army, but I am not completely without foresight. My commanders, Phasm and Merlina, have much fewer limitations than the others, as I made their pact before the others. But the Pact of Vampirism and its rules were all set by me.
That makes sense.
Including running water. I wanted to make sure innocents had a safe haven from us, so that we would not go out of control. As part of the Pact magic, I am bound to the same limitations. He looks at Rain and Halibor and says, "To save our companions, I broke that. And when I break it, vampires everywhere may break it." Water is no longer a safe place from my kind.
Well, there's no way for you to just pop that back in there.
Theoretically, I could reassert the pact, but only for vampires I turn going forward, not retroactively. I have no such
Plus-
intentions of turning anyone else.
Plus, it is harder to create those kind of pacts than it is to break them.
Yes. Thank you, God.
I'm not sure if Todd would mention that, but I wanted to make sure that you, Tabby, understood that.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't think that this would be an easy thing.
Just casually do it every now and again, see what happens, fuck some shit up.
But yes. Ozzy, well, I am not sure where you get your information, but the popular myths about what can hurt us, steaks, sunlight, water, garlic, all of these were decided by me.
Why garlic? That seems like such an odd one.
I was not a fan of it in the first place, and I believed having a easily accessible crop to be used for defense against us was important.
Guess that checks out.
I also named us vampires after my favorite creature, the vampire bat.
Oh, so it wasn't the other way around.
No.
Ah, I assumed it was.
The
Come farm garlic.
He used to, not now.
Did he sell it or give it away just for free? That's the
I
one
mean,
crop he gave away for absolutely free.
I'm pretty sure we've established before that Todd only sold his crops insofar as to basically not come off as suspicious. He
Yeah.
sold
Yeah.
them for very cheap, and when he thought the time was right, he just gave them away for free. He farmed entirely because he just wanted something to do.
Yeah.
But garlic was free 100% of the time, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And
He actually paid people to come get his garlic.
I'd like to imagine him farming garlic, but in a full hazmat suit.
We need the vampire hunters to be like, suddenly there's been a decrease in garlic. Our number one supplier is John Niven.
I just taught a full like hat and all, just inside
Yes.
this fucking hazmat suit.
Uh,
Nothing
I
can be
don't-
contaminated.
Yeah.
He has like 3 of them that he switches through. Like he switches in and out of throughout the day just to be safe.
Hmm. But Todd continues. The only thing I struggle to call it a limitation, as much as it is just a sign that I did not willingly choose upon vampires, is the lack of a reflection. I made no such decision, and I lacked one when I woke up.
Interesting.
I hesitate to tell the other two. Much like you, I don't want the deaths that my actions have caused to, in any way, be placed on them. But our enemies are my kind, and knowing exactly what they can and cannot do is important to all of us. So I will explain it to them. Then we have a moment away from ears that might betray us. And he'll nod towards Amaryllis.
Of course. And Huntsmaster is still here, I imagine.
Yeah.
She
Both of
is,
which-
but she is in a meditative state at this point.
She is wide awake, hanging from a tree by her legs, and
She
twitching
is
in and
the
out of
tree.
reality. She's morphed into the tree.
No, she's currently in a meditative state towards the middle of the camp. She's actually positioned quite near to the campfire, which, as a dryad, would normally be a bad thing, but you can see that tattoo faintly glowing, that the same one that had lit up during the fight, and it seems to be staving off the heat from burning her.
Vernick mistaked her for the campfire. She is on fire and okay.
Rain, in his
Um,
sleep, kicks her into the fire.
Ooh.
Go on.
No. My thing was going to be a whole tangent, and it was unrelated and not important.
Okay. Todd will just say, it has been some time since I have been within water. When I was alive, I was in it quite frequently. I have my reasons for denying vampires from entering it.
I was a master of land and ruler of skies, and I am a fire, and I am one of flame and fire. None of those things mix well with water. Whatever happens down there can stay down there.
There is one positive to this, but it's minuscule in comparison to the benefit. But my scythe, the legendary one, Domi, the one gifted by my father, I believe it to be at the bottom of the abyss. And I believed I would never see it again.
Ah, lovely.
I can't be going to retrieve it now. We have too many things to do. But if I am given the opportunity, I should like to have it again.
A reasonable choice.
Thank you for your patience with me, Frennick.
I have nothing but patience.
I can tell.
And nothing but time.
Except with that one, yes? I'll gesture towards Rain.
He does like to test it.
He is, yes, if nothing else, he keeps us on our toes, yes.
I do have to commend him. I believe he is the only one to have ever tested my patience.
Yes, quite admirable, his ability to annoy.
I will say, I am a little bit impressed. And I had 7 children.
I never had 7 at once. Countless.
Bro's got a nation full.
I never did well with loneliness. And, but the most I took care of at once was 3. I admire the ability to take on 7.
Oh, if you think I'm scary, wait till you meet my wife.
I should like it. She does sound like quite a woman.
Oh, she's incredible. This is the straightest I've ever sounded, I think.
Who
But I don't know how I feel about that.
Are you? And what have you done with the
Don't hit me with a "Who are you?" What have you done with my gay man? Who are you? Where did he go?
Bring back Tate?
Alright. I believe that's all Todd would have to say.
I got nothing.
Fair enough. The watch goes by.
I guess I'll probably have to talk to Rain tomorrow. Next week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to leave in 15 minutes, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah, more or less. But you said Huntsmaster goes into a trance, right?
Yes.
So she would exit that
She would.
before.
What?
Oh my god.
Which would probably be like. I do want to fucking. It's coming to my attention. I said something that it has implications. I don't think Todd has actually had countless children. He probably, like wherever he's gone, he's probably had 1 or 2. But I don't imagine most of them like with how long he stayed in each place. He probably was with them up until they died. So they're probably not. Most of them aren't still out there in the world.
Damn, I was thinking there's like a fucking coalition out there of
Todd's just
there-
turned into
there are-
children.
of
I
your
mean,
kids trying to hunt you.
I will say, Hellebore is not the only product of a one-night stand he has had.
I'm
And
not
I have-
surprised.
I have left
Okay.
it in Talon's hands if or when that would ever come up.
Mhm.
Okay.
I can't wait to have a fucking combat against like a small group of your kids who have all like rebelled.
They've all
can't
been
wait for
like,
that to
"Where
happen."
is our dad?"
Wait, hold on. You're looking for what was your dad like? Describe him to me.
I don't know. I never met him. He interacted with my mom once and disappeared.
That's exactly what happened to me.
Mom.
We should group up.
We about to start a support group for Todd's kids.
Okay.
All I will say is that I have plans for one of the one night stand children.
Oh boy.
Guys,
That isn't Hellebore.
does this mean we can all create backup characters that are just Todd's children?
Again, I want to insist that most of the children he had, he stayed with up until they perished.
Most of them.
Yes, most of them. The ones he didn't take care of are ones that he doesn't know exist.
Me on my way to make Talzin
Every
secretly Todd's
time.
kid.
God damn it! If we have a party of all of Todd's children,
That's so funny.
God.
Every time we take Todd into town, he's actually sleeping around.
I also wanted to be very specific. He's not a player. It's not like this is a habit. It's that he's been alive for like 5,000 years, and yes, it happens sometimes.
He's the modern day Genghis Khan.
Stop! No!
Oh!
No!
God.
That's you've had enough.
Anyway, so Huntsmaster's trance would have ended
Yes.
probably at near the end of Furnick's watch, right? So
Yes.
Furnick can still be awake for this
Mhm.
because I don't need to be particularly secretive.
Mhm.
I will look to Huntsmaster and say, I believe I have terms.
And what are those terms?
I ask of you two things, and I respect that you are a person of honor, and hope that you would be willing to accept them. I want immunity for my party here. None of us are to ever be a target of your hunts ever again.
The 5 people within this camp, besides for myself, will never be a target of the hunt again. I can guarantee you that. Should you encounter any other friends along the way, I cannot guarantee that they will not be targets of the hunt.
I would not expect you to.
Especially one in particular.
I tilt my head.
There is someone on the material. Should you encounter a foxkin who goes by the name of Thistle, she will not be safe from us, no matter where she goes. Is that understood?
I will keep this in mind.
In fact, if you want to remain on my good side, I'd recommend steering clear of her entirely.
I will also make note of this. For
And your second term?
this, I would like to speak to Phasm again, and I do not know the relation between you and Phasm, but if Phasm wishes to help us, I wish for his freedom to do so.
The Wild Hunt does not limit the freedoms of its people. As of now, most of the hunt are off on their own things at the moment. It is why only Fathom and I were available to speak with Amaryllis in regards to her commission. If Fathom wishes to help you, even if you were the target of my hunt, so long as it did not interfere with said hunt, there would be no issue.
Then there is no issue. I thank you for your time.
You asked for 2 conditions. The second one you gave me is already in place. It is not fair to leave that as is.
I look to Fernick and say, Fernick, do you have any suggestions? He died.
Sorry, what?
I spoke to you.
Oh, sorry, I fully zoned out for a second.
Todd gave 2 conditions. Huntsmaster revealed that the
Yeah.
second commission Todd gave is already in place, and then was like, you asked for 2 conditions, I agreed to 2 conditions, the second one you asked for is already in place, so what is your second condition?
Okay.
Todd is now turning to Fernick and asking if he has any suggestions for a second condition.
I mean, the first one got everything kind of covered.
Then
Anyone-
If
This
you want
is-
to just have fun with the second one.
This is the, to my understanding, correct me if I'm wrong, most powerful hunter in all of this plane, possibly all of them.
I was
Right.
about to suggest a very similar thing, actually. If you are going where I believe you are.
I struggle to think of anyone I would wish your attention to be on.
I don't have any immediate grudges.
A man as old as you, with no enemies, does not sound possible.
I have made it my best effort to be so. Perhaps a way to contact you? A way to cash in this hunt later.
That is agreeable. She reaches between the folds of some of the leaves that make up her body, and you realize that she's actually wearing a cloak of leaves over top of her body that kind of blends in with her own body, and pulls out a strange kind of... it looks like a leaf, but it is solid, as she hands it to you. And she says, "Whisper your name, your true name, upon this leaf of the winds. I will hear you, and I will come to you."
Understood.
In order
I
for
will-
this to work, of course, I need to know your true name. I take it is Mortem.
How do true names work in this world?
If they do not own your true name, they have no power.
Right. But I mean, would my true name be Mortem?
Your true name would be the name it. True names tend to be the name that are most that are like the name that the holder identifies with the most, regardless of what their original name was.
So true names can change theoretically.
Theoretically.
Okay.
So, for example, your original true name would have been Mila, but
Yeah, well, I don't even have that one anymore. I gave it to Halibor. So,
Yeah.
but he'll nod and say, "Indeed."
then when I hear that name whispered upon the winds, I will know that it is time to repay the debt that I owe.
I
And-
assume then you will be off come sunrise.
In fact, if it is not an issue with you, I will be off now.
I see no problem.
I was never here to begin with. Fucking vanishes.
She whistles. It is a high-pitched whistle that is, you can hardly hear it. But a moment later, coming down from the mountains above, you see the form of her wyvern, Vila. As it lands down next to her, she climbs aboard and she says, "Shall I send Fathom your way then?"
Please do.
He will be here shortly. And with that, Huntsmaster and Vila take off.
A pretty beast.
Yes, I am apologetic that I had to blind it during the chase. I should really get ready to go.
Okay.
Is
I think
leaf disposable? Like, it doesn't have to be that particular leaf, or can it be any leaf?
I imagine that leaf
That is really
She-
dangerous because what happens if, like, say someone eats the leaf? Harbor.
Again,
Imagine, say, if
like
someone, Rain, cough,
the
cough.
leaf appears to be a single solid immutable object, so it doesn't bend or wiggle or anything, and it is like, it looks like a leaf, it does not feel like a leaf.
So if someone were to eat it, they'd be
Uh,
in deep trouble.
Fucking damn it.
If someone were to try and eat it, they'd probably break their teeth.
Okay, so don't swallow it whole.
But I think that is a good place to end tonight's session. Going forward, we will likely only be playing 3 hours as opposed to the 4 that we usually do because of Tabby's schedule.
3 hours but no break? Question mark? Because I'm cool with that personally.
Maybe we're probably gonna try and do breaks. Usually, we didn't today because there was just so much happening.
I feel like it could be case by case.
Yeah, I feel like case by case works. But
Tabby, when you get a moment, check Steam.
oh my
What have you
god,
done?
what have you done? But thank you for coming, both viewer and player. And I will see you all next week. Bye bye.